Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. And today we are going to start a new module named as Web LLM Attacks from Portsfigure. So before going to jump into this topic, I would like to cover and briefly explain some foundational knowledge about the technology. If we scroll down, you can see this picture. So in this picture, two things are mentioned. The first one is AI and the second is LLM. So somehow these two are interconnected. So I want you to have some basic and foundational knowledge about AI and machine learning and what techniques are being used, so that you have a good foundation of understanding about the technology. Then you can build your whole building on that. Okay. So I would like to talk about knowledge based AI system. This video could be a little bit boring. I would like to suggest you to grab a cup of tea or cup of coffee and just sit back, relax and listen. Okay. So back to the point. There are two type of knowledge based AI systems. The first one is expert systems and the second one is neural network. And in this video, we will emphasize on expert systems more. Okay. So as well as the name is concerned, expert system, you can consider it as a system that provides expert level results, or that could take an expert level decision on a specific matter or on an specific subject. Fine. So there are two parts of expert systems. The first one is knowledge base and the second one is inference engine. So the first part, which is knowledge base, you can consider it as a data set or a place where you just codify all the subject matter expert knowledge with fact and figures based on the previous or past experiences in the form of if then statements. Okay. Like if something is like this, then this is the better option or this is the better decision. So let's say for an example, I take an example of hurricane, let's say. In the knowledge base, if I say if the hurricane of category 4 storm or higher, then flood water reach a height of 20 feet above the sea level. This is the first statement. The second statement, let's say if the hurricane has wind speed more than 120 miles per hour, at that instant any wood frame structure will be destroyed. Fine. And the third condition, I say if it is late in the hurricane season, then hurricanes tend to get stronger as they approach the coast. Okay. So this built a knowledge base, a little knowledge base. Okay. This is just an example to make you understand, but in reality, there could be hundreds and thousands of facts or statements are asserted in the knowledge base, so that it can figure out more granular and more accurate decisions. Fine. So this is about knowledge base, where you put the statements, conditions, fact and figures according to the past experiences. Now we have knowledge base, but who is responsible for analyzing those statements in the knowledge base and take the best decision for us? So at that instant, inference engine comes into the picture. Okay. And this is the purpose of inference engine, to analyze the information in the knowledge base and to figure out the appropriate decision. Okay. So let's say there is a user who need the expert advice or expert level decision for a particular situation, so that the user will ask the question by writing his question in the input field or by voice command, and that's how user will interact with the inference engine. Then inference engine will use a combination of logical reasoning for providing the conclusion based on the past experience. Okay. Now let's get back to the previous example of hurricane. Okay. Let's say a user asked a question to expert system that a hurricane of category 4 is approaching the coast with a speed of 140 miles per hour. He said, okay, what should I do in this situation? Now, the inference system or inference engine will analyze the information in the knowledge base, and based on that, it will provide the result to the user in which it could recommend the user to evacuate. Because as I mentioned, 3 points, right, about hurricane. If the hurricane is of category 4 storm or higher, then the flood water level reach up to 20 feet height above the sea level. And if the speed is more than 120 miles per hour, so at that instant any wood structured frame is going to be destroyed. So if both of these conditions are mentioned by the user in his question to the expert system, so the expert system will give him the decision that okay, you need to evacuate, there is no way that you can survive. Fine. So all these decisions are based on the past experiences or previous experiences. So the best part of expert system, or you can say the advantage of expert system, is that there is no human emotions are added in the decisions. Fine. So it is very stable. Although the results you get from the expert systems are based on the quality and quantity of information in the knowledge base and the inference system or inference engine algorithms. If the data set in the knowledge base is not good, at that instant you may not get the accurate result or accurate decision. Similarly, if the algorithm is not up to the mark, maybe it is not going to perform a very good logical reasoning, so that it won't be able to provide you the best decision. Okay, so that's how the expert systems work. And you might have seen many platforms are there where you can go and just ask the questions and you will get the answers. Okay, but the accuracy of that answers always depend on the data set in the knowledge base and the algorithm of the inference engine. The next part I would like to mention here about the machine learning, because most of the time people are confused and they interchangeably used AI and machine learning, AI with machine learning. So AI is different thing and machine learning is different thing, although machine learning is a very, very important part of AI. The main purpose of machine learning is to allow the computer to analyze information and learn directly from data and create, develop and update the models. Okay, so this is the main purpose of machine learning. Now there are two techniques of machine learning. The first one is supervised learning and the second one is unsupervised learning. If you talk about the supervised learning, so in this technique labeled data is being used for training. Okay, so basically we provide data sets with the correct answer and allow the algorithm to develop a model that will be applied to the further and future cases. So let's say we put some statement and some data sets and we also tell the algorithm that this is the correct answer. Okay, or this is the most correct answer, this is just correct answer and this is wrong, something like this. So in future cases, if anyone come and see the result according to the condition of what exists in the data set, it is going to tell you according to that. So this is more reliable because the correct answer is also given by the analyst or developer, whoever is going to put the data, he also going to define the answers. Okay. Now, if we talk about unsupervised learning, so in this technique, we use unlabeled data for training, and data sets provided to the algorithm do not contain the answers. So in this technique, the algorithm itself develops the model. Fine. So for example, we ask to the algorithm to analyze and develop a model that provides the information of users with similar or different login patterns. Fine. So now an analyst can look at the group developed by the algorithm and identify malicious logins. Fine. And as I mentioned about the supervised learning, that the correct answer is already set with the or coded with the data set. So if we take an example of the supervised learning, so let's take an example of SIEM solution. Okay, and let's say we want to develop a model of malicious login attempt. So we provide a data set containing information about logins to the systems over a period of time and indicate which one is malicious. Now the algorithm will develop a model of malicious login. So let's say there are few employees in our organization. Those work from another country. Their time zones are different. Okay, so once we finish our working hours, they start their working hours. Okay, so in that case, we will take all the information from the SIEM, security information and event management, because there is centralized log management and event management. So we have all the information about the logins, right? Now we analyze the login, and let's say we found some login attempts that are not during the working hours from our side, and from the employees, those are sitting in another country. Okay, so if those login attempts are not in that duration, and their location from where they are trying to log in, their location is also not my country and not the other employee's country. It is somewhere out of that. So that means this is a suspicious activity. So the analyst will say, okay, this activity, if you find this activity, make it a red flag. And after that, because now the algorithm knows that for this data set, I need to generate an alert, or this is malicious login activity. So the next time it will find the same activity, it will provide you the result or alert. Okay, that's the thing. Neural network, it is just an extension of the machine learning, and it is also known as deep learning or cognitive system. The human mind have neurals, okay, consist of neural network. So every nerve is connected to different hub, and that hub is connected from different other neurals and other hubs. So this is a neural network. So something like this, you get the idea that you have chain of computational units which is going to process your data, and it is going to make some logical reasoning that is very, very near to the human mind or human capability of reasoning. So this is the idea about the neural network. Okay, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to briefly define these things so that you have basic understanding about the machine learning, supervised learning technique, unsupervised learning technique, about the expert systems. Okay, in the next lab, when we are going to engage with the labs, and I will give you some other examples, and at that instant you will feel that okay, this video is important. And if you already watched this video, then in the next videos you will be fine. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.